from an uneducated client perspective, you think, well, how do I choose an architect? Architects seem the same. And part of what we do in Next Gen X Professional for Architects is help you understand how you can not just craft outstanding designs, but craft outstanding value propositions.
Damien Andrews here for Next Gen X Professional for Architects, and we're talking about architects can't sell, and that's okay. And one of the reasons that we discuss this and go through this process is because as architects are trained from early on, they're very, very technically minded, but then as they move up the ranks into a more senior role, it becomes more about the people skills, the relationship skills, whether you're focusing on your career yourself or as a firm. You need to then transition from those technical skills to develop your people skills. Is that your experience as well, Peter?
It's absolutely right, Damien. And as we all know, architects are potentially the most unappreciated profession. And one of the interesting things I find about working with architects is that architects are often focused on people-centric designs. And it's a matter of translating that people centricity from a design perspective into client centricity from a client growth perspective. Because from the outside looking in, all architects look the same. They all look from an uneducated client perspective. You think, well, how do I choose an architect? Architects seem the same. And part of what we do in Next Gen X Professional for Architects is help you understand how you can not just craft outstanding designs, but craft outstanding value propositions that big clients will find valuable and unique and prepared to invest in. That's the strategy side of what we'd like to talk to you about. Isn't that right, Damien?
Oh, 100%, Peter. And it's the difference that makes the difference. Having all these technical skills, and it's great, and you've worked really hard to develop them. And as a firm, you train your staff to be really, really technically minded. And then you've got to take it to that next level of how do we create this unique difference? How do we stand out as someone that has something different to everybody else? Because you're right, when we're looking at it from an external perspective, architects are very underappreciated in the experience that they bring. And you need to be able to craft that in a message that gets across to the person that they understand very, very quickly, because as we know in today's environment, there is so much information out there. So you need to get your point across, your value proposition across extremely quickly, showing why you are the person to go with, why are you the person or why are you the firm to go with for the client. And you need to be able to do that in this hyper-competitive environment where other people are actually have these skills as well and doing those processes and maybe taking work from you. So it's really, really critical to develop these skills. Yeah. Is that what you've experienced too, Peter?
Absolutely. And you think an architectural firm pitching for business, you could be pitching to a builder, you could be pitching to an engineer, you could be pitching to a big corporate client, and you might need to subtly adjust how that value proposition is crafted and also how it's delivered. And one of the key things we focus on in the Next Gen X professional program for architects is not just how to craft that strategically, but how to deliver it in terms of collaborative conversations. Because we said architects can't sell, and that's okay. It's okay because we know selling doesn't work. It creates that buyer-seller relationship. It puts distance between you and the person you're selling to, and it makes them cynical. And architects don't like it for great reasons. So we teach a collaborative approach to developing these relationships, which we found architects embrace because it works. Isn't
Oh,
that
it's
right, Dan?
100%, Peter. And that's one of the things that is really important is that collaborative approach, because in today's world, we know we've all been exposed to those hard selling messages and all these different things. And anyone who's watched any of the videos that are out there on the video channels, you're bombarded with ads and it's all this hard sell. And we know that it's that snake charmer type experience. And people are naturally pushed away from that. And so if you come across with that hard sell, it might not be even intentional. You might come across just because of not having developed those skills, and that person immediately thinks they're being sold to, that they might be taken for a ride, and that's really, really hard to come back from. And you don't want to be in that position where you actually, that first impression is the person going, this person's a shark, and that's the wrong impression. So we really focus on how you can, from the very beginning, create this relationship of trust, which is what sales is about, is creating a relationship of trust so the other person believes what you're saying and wants to work with you.
Absolutely. And if this sounds like something of interest to you, or you'd like to find more about this, like how to build profitable growth in an architectural firm, reach out to myself or reach out to Damien. We'd love to hear from you, hear more about your objectives, your goals, what your client strategy is, and how we could potentially help you grow your business. So that's bye from Peter and
Bye from
bye from
Damien at Next Gen
Damien.
X Professional for Architects.
See you next time, guys.